Hi y'all, it's Charlene from the Crafty Art Shack, and we're here today with another challenge video. So I'll tell you about that in just a few minutes, so let's get to the craft desk and get started. Alright, here we go with DIY number 1. Alright, for this first DIY, I got this cigar box from a garage sale, and I'm putting a coat of Mod Podge on the top of it. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I got this beautiful picture from Thomas Kincaid calendar that I picked up after January when it went on sale, and I'm going to cut it out. Now I need a 9x7 piece to put on the top of my box, and I set my box aside so it could dry, and what I'm doing is measuring out piece that I need. Then once my box has dried, I'm going to bring my box back over. I'm going to lay my piece down on top of it right where I want it, and it's a little bit bigger than my box, but that's okay. The next thing I'm going to do is get some of this parchment paper, lay it on top. Now I already have my little iron heating up, and I have it on the highest setting, and I'm going to go around this and iron this down and trying to hold it still until I get it all ironed in place. The next thing I'm going to do is go around the edge with my finger sander and clean up the edges, and then I'll put a coat of Mod Podge on the top of this, and we'll see it at the final reveal. Now today's video is the open collab. It's hosted by DIY with Aria, and it's also hosted by One Way Designs 238 and co-hosted by Twisted Serenity. Now these are supposed to be Mother's Day crafts, and I am actually giving these to my daughters for Mother's Day, and they are supposed to be Farmhouse crafts. All of the host links are in my description box below. Also, the link to the playlist is down there as well. If you go check them out, they're doing some awesome crafts, and you sure don't want to miss them. Now here we go with DIY number 2. Now for this DIY, I got this cutting board from the thrift store. Or no, this one was from a garage sale. I paid $1 for it, and it has some spots on it. And so what I'm going to do is tape off this part, and I'm going to paint that bottom half with Rust-Oleum Linen White chalk paint, and then I'm going to let it dry. And then after I finish that, I put a coat of Mod Podge over the top of it after it's dried. After the paint dries, then you put the Mod Podge on and let it dry. Then I bought this design off of Etsy in a group of stuff that I had bought for another project a long time ago, and I printed it out on a napkin. Now what I'm doing here, and you have to print these out on LaserJet printers, because if you don't, when it gets wet, your ink will smear. Now I'm using rubbing alcohol to put down and tear my little edges. Now I do that because I like my paper towel or napkin to get good and dry, and alcohol evaporates rather quickly. Now after my Mod Podge is dried, I'm going to go in there with these little stamps that I've got from a pack that I got on sale at Hobby Lobby for $4, and I'm going to go in here and put fresh across the bottom, and I'm just using regular paint because I don't have any regular ink, so I'm using some watered down paint, and I'm going to paint it right on each stamp and then stamp it down, and I will do the whole word for the word fresh. And I'm not making sure it's perfect because I don't care if it is or not, because this is Rustic Farmhouse, so that's what I'm doing, is making it rustic. Now I'm laying down my design, and then I'm laying down a piece of parchment paper over the top of that, and then I'm going to run my little iron over the top of it so that it gets good and worked into my board. And yes, I know it's off center. Now look at this, guys. I pulled my parchment paper off, and it pulled up my Mod Podge. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but if you do, leave it in the comments below. I'd like to know, if I put Mod Podge over the entire project and I just put a piece of parchment paper over it and let it work in, now I'm having to clean up a mess because of what happened. But I was told that you could go back over it by laying a piece of parchment paper over it, and it would seal it back up. Guess what? It didn't work. It didn't work for me. It hasn't worked for me. This is the second project I tried that on. So we're going to salvage this project. It's a good thing I put that to the side so that I can fix my mistakes when they happen. Okay, so that I can fix my mistake, I'm going to take a piece of this gingham ribbon and I'm going to put it across the top, and I'm going to put a little button up there and add some embellishments there, and then I'm going to go over here and focus on the side. Now, I was looking to see if a piece of jute rope would look good across there, and I had those little pieces out, so I thought it would, so I'm going to put a piece on. The next thing that I did is I took this little burlap bow that I had from a project that I was using, and then I have this little gingham bow that I made, and now I'm going to put some little flowers here on the side to cover this mess up, and then we will see this at the final reveal. Here we go with DIY number 3. Now for this DIY, I got this little board from the thrift store, and it was 99 cents, and it was probably half off when I got it. Now I'm showing you that I'm leaving the little kickstand on the back. I'm taking all the stuff off the front. Now that bow right there is the bow that I used on the second DIY that you just saw, and I'm going to take and get this little staple out, and then I'm going to take my lightweight spackling, put it in these holes that's here on the front of this, and then I'm going to paint this white with Rust-Oleum Linen White chalk paint. Then I'm going to take this little Highland cow and I'm going to tear it out of my napkin. And I got this in a group of stuff as well that I purchased, and I printed it out on a napkin. I like to use my napkins when I take them apart from other projects and take those extra layers off. I save these and tape them to a piece of 8x10 or 8.5x11 copy paper, and then print this off. Now you have to use a laser printer for this, or when that gets wet your ink is going to smear. Now the next thing I'm doing is some of my cracks got filled in with white paint, so I'm going back in there after my white paint is dried, and I'm going to put black chalk paint in there to make my lines show up. And the next thing I'm going to do is take my baby wipe before that black paint dries, and I'm going to blend it until it looks like a wood plank with not such harsh lines in it. Then I'm going to set that side to dry. Once it dries, I'm going to come back, put some Mod Podge down, and put my little Highland cow on here. I'm going to smooth it out. Now, you want to make sure you're getting this up under all your edges and that it's covered everywhere. And then I'm going to take the end of my paintbrush and run it inside the little grooves so that that napkin slides down into the grooves so that it looks like it's just supposed to be a part of the board and it was painted on. And then after that dries, I had a little piece of the napkin that was sticking out of the top. Now I'm going to sand that off with my little finger sander. And the next thing I did is I wrote "Wash Up Buttercup" on the sign, and then I'm going to take out some water and my black paint, and I'm dipping the water into my black paint. I'm moving my thing over so I can show you. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a couple of drops of water, drop it into your black paint so that it makes your paint not watery, but smoother than the paint that's on there. And that will help you to be able to glide your paint over. Now I'm not trying to be perfect with this. I'm trying to do my letters in all different sizes and to make this look like it's not perfect. I don't want it to be perfect. Okay, after I finished my little sign, I went back and put that little squiggly line on the last line, and then I'm going to take me some of this cord that I got from jute cord from Temu, and I'm going to add it to this, and I am going to cut it right there on the front. And I know, like, why didn't you put that in the back? Because it's not going to matter. I'm going to put a little flower here with it, and then I'm going to do the same on the other side, and then we'll see this at the final reveal. At this time, we'd like to thank our subscribers. We love you bunches, and we really appreciate you subscribing to our channel. Here we go with the final reveal. Alright, y'all, we're back from the craft test, and these turn out so cute. Now, if you like our content, subscribe, and that way you don't miss another episode of the Crafty Art Shack, because we're always doing something fun, always trying something new, and always doing crazy things. So, you guys subscribe if you're not subscribed. It's free. And we'll see you in the next episode of the Crafty Art Shack. We'll see you later. Bye.
These turn out just adorable. Those little dupes, I think something, I sure do. Alright, y'all, we're back from the craft test, and look at these. Isn't this absolutely gorgeous for a little tier tray sitter? And I love that rooster, and I love the chicken as well, and I'm sure that my daughter is going to love them too. So, you guys, if you like this content, subscribe. If you're already subscribed, thank you bunches. We love you bunches. And if you like this content, subscribe. Yeah, I said that already. Subscribe. I messed up. Alright, y'all, we're back from the craft test, and didn't these turn out absolutely gorgeous? I love this one, I love the rooster, and I love the little chicken, and I'm, why did I do that? Alright, y'all, give us that big thumbs up, and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you in the next episode. See you later, bye!